Okay. And here's on my private chat. Here's on my private chat. Hi. Do you like our attack? It's well done. There will be no guest anymore. Unfortunately, Clay, that's the truth. You must put an end to the show, or I think you understand what may happen. No way, asshole. You will see, Clay. I just warn you. This is Vovo Vito. And the one that said he's from Sweden, I don't believe that. Okay, put that in my documents. So take your advice and stick it up your ass. Ain't too bad, he already got offline. All right. All right. We got that done, and we're recording again. So, okay. Let me see what else is going on here. Okay, let me see how we're doing here. Yeah, I don't have any of that. Don't have any emails or anything on this. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Hello, 310 area code. You're on with the Free American.
Good morning, Clayton. How's your coffee this morning?
That's pretty good.
David.
Hi, David. How are you? Yeah, this is
out here finally. Finally quit raining, but this morning you certainly got a whole load of those hecklers on your back. Boy, I tell you, I think that's kind of a dipstick in the oil, so to speak, to let us know that they know their time is running out here, and they're going to be off this planet sooner than they might think. I just wanted to call in this morning to let you know I'm always listening, and I'm always got a big smile on my face with my cup of coffee here in the morning.
Well, I want to get your opinion. You know, sometimes it's almost hard to tell when the detractors, and they're bragging about this, they're threatening to kill me and everything else. For what, David? Now, this whole thing about the motorcycle group, this is a motorcycle group, and I read and there's shared, and I'm going to leave the links up there so people can hear the show and see what happened here, and understand everything that's kind of going on here. But I don't even understand it. Why would me trying to get Donna Taylor some help? Because she was totally ignored by every media outlet out there except me. I had her on my shows. I brought her on. I got to meet her and got to meet Mark. And when I brought that up on the Sons of Liberty, suddenly a healthcare professional attacked me. And you know, I shared that with you in the first half of the show here.
Right. Well, what I can't believe is that our own congressmen and senators, who we've elected to office, are turning an eye completely away from these problems that are more than just a social upset. These are monumental cases, and even the judges are following suit with them and ignoring them. And our top police officials in the hospitals are going along with the rest of this bunch. You know, it's really getting frustrating for me, being a lowly little person here, to see all these high up elected officials and police officers and judges all going to the dark side. It's terrible, but they've all got to have their opportunity in life, and they're all going to get exactly what they're worth, because I myself, I've been on 5 different blog talk radio programs now, from Carolinas to Colorado to Oregon, and your show's my favorite here in Arizona. But I've been putting out the word about me and you, Clayton, and letting everybody know. So all these fools that think you're the only one they got to get rid of, they're going to find out different soon, because there's a lot of people in this country that are waking up and turning on. And even Clifton Bradley, who does the Underground Railroad out of Chicago, he's a black man, and he's got followers for his station all over the world. They have tuned in his program when I was on just a month and a half ago, and they heard the word, and it's getting out there. So I want you to know, Clayton, you're doing a fantastic job there, and you're pretty much leading the whole bunch of us. But we're gaining in members and support every week.
Well, like John Comiskey says, you know, yeah, we're preaching to the choir, but the choir's growing. The choir's
growing. Is singing the song.
And, you know, we have had an effect. It's what I said. It's what I've said. We are having an effect. Because Donna Taylor followed my instructions. She did what I told her to. She said, I told her, contact everybody. Contact everybody. Contact the newspapers, contact the television, contact the DA, contact the sheriff, contact the FBI. They did that, and they don't okay, excuse me. They're kicking all these guests out coming in the rooms, so.
You're going to have to hire a secretary just to do that for you.
I do. Her name's Lady K. Her name's Lady K, and
just to get rid of the blowhards. That's amazing, Clayton. That's amazing. Well, that's just like I say. That's just a dipstick to let you know how popular you really are with those dark forces, because they're trying their best to get you out of the picture.
I've wondered about this. You know, I've been in your house. I've been in your living room. We walked down the beach together. We went down and had a beer, and you know, I'm kind of reminded of that song. You know, I think I'm an all right guy. I think I'm an all right guy.
Clayton, you're one of the best men I've ever met in my life, because you don't give a diddly-do about anybody's imperfections or inadequacies or any of that. And that's something that this elite cares so much about, is that they've got a closed circle. They don't let anybody in their little group, and that's the whole problem with them. If they would share alike with everyone else on the planet like you and I do, then they'd be accepted into the family of humanity. But they're not. They're an outside group, and they're trying their hardest to kill us all off at the moment. But they're not going to succeed. You know, and I know there is a God, and He's got His eyes right on us. And since we're doing His work for Him, He's going to keep us around for a lot longer than they may think. And, you know, at your age and my age, I'm 55, and I know you're a few years older than me, but you know, everything I've seen in my life and everything I've done in my life, they really don't add up to much as far as you know, anything great. So it's just been all for my personal experience, and I'm thankful every day when I wake up and when I go to sleep at night, and just to be able to say thanks to your maker is actually what it's all about here.
But you know what? I think you just hit on the whole key to it. For years, we have. We weren't even allowed to read the Bible. We weren't allowed to gain any of that knowledge that's been that our ancestors tried to pass down to us in a form that we could keep. Now it's been changed. It's been you know, it's been altered. It's been changed. You know, we've had the Schofield Bible. They've added this and that. They tried to usurp the identity of the Israelites, the heritage of the Israelites. They tried to steal it. They tried to take it away. And
yeah.
It's just amazing to me, though. God is within you. God created each and every one of us, and He put a little bit of His divinity in us, I believe, that we call a soul, or we call a conscience. And I don't buy into this. A lot of this religious bullshit, you know, you can't dance, you know, you can't eat pork, you can't do this, you can't do that, you know, and this is the religions trying to control how you think, what you can say.
Sure. Well, I've always been taught since I've been a child that there's only going to be one faith that's going to be the right one on the planet. There's a million other ones, or as many as you want to count, as many leaves as you want to count on a bush. But there's only one true religious faith, and so I've been looking all my life for it. I was raised Catholic, and I was a Sunday school teacher, and altar boy, sang in the choir. But you know, about 25 years ago, I just quit the Catholic faith and walked out of the rectory and told the priest to go kiss my ass, because what they were talking and teaching wasn't what was in the Bible. So I've had some experiences with the religious hierarchy and whatnot, but what I found to be true was I kept looking for the right religion, and I found the only religion on the planet Earth, the only one of any organization that still keeps the exact same feast days as the Old Testament does, but they do it on a lunar clock schedule, which means by the new moons and the full moons. No other religion on the planet Earth goes by the lunar clock schedule. Even the Jewish faith, which everybody touts as the oldest original one, they worship their Sabbath day on the Gregorian Saturday, which is not the correct faith. And they also, besides that, they worship their passing over on the waning moon and not the full moon night. So that's not right either. So just categorically going through the list, about 30 years ago, I had to X them off my consideration for the one true religion too. But when I found this religion that observes the Sabbath on the lunar count, and then also celebrates the passing over on the full moon night, not the waning moon night, I started to my investigations further into this religion, and I found out that the person who was the originator of it in this day and age was a man named Herbert W. Armstrong from Des Moines, Iowa, one of the towns that I was from. And I flew out here in 1986 to his big college university in Pasadena to talk with him, but he had just recently died, so I had to go back home again. But ever since then, I've been following the lunar count every year, and this year the Sabbath is from Sunday night to Monday night on the lunar clock. And
well, what happened? Let me ask you this. What, you know, maybe we are. I think we are too limited in our thinking. You know, if I had a choice, I would prefer to live in a Christian-based country, a country based on Christianity, and that's what our founding fathers gave us: equal rights for all. You know, and the First Amendment. You know, of course, I'm a fan of the Second Amendment because I believe we got to you know, protect ourselves. But the First Amendment, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, if you're Christian, you can worship any way you want. You can go to your synagogue, you can go to your mosque, you can go to your church, and you can sit around on Sunday and hang out with some of your like-minded people. And you've got the same dogma, so it's pretty comfortable. But the pressure is always on. Now, you can't talk about that. No, you can't talk about religion. You can't talk about politics in polite company, because they want you to remain part of the consensus. They want you, if you don't get up and say, wait a minute, now, why would God tell you to, you know, take and smash a baby's head? Why would God tell you to go out and kill these people? Why would God tell you to do that? And
I don't think God told him to do that.
Then somebody did. So somebody's pretending to be God to try to get you to go to war with your neighbors. That's exactly what's happening with 9/11. That's exactly what the Jews did to us at 9/11 to get us to go to war with the Muslims.
Oh yeah. Well, they're just constantly feeding our heads full of this bull crap. And what they're playing to is the lowest common denominator in the crowd that's before them. They're talking to the least intelligent in the group, not the most intelligent, certainly not you or I, and we're the ones that are starting to notice this, or we've noticed it a while ago. But that somewhat infuriated me 25 years ago when I broke away from my lifelong faith in the Catholic Church. And part of the problem was, you know, with people is they relate their own religion that they're raised with the God that they believe in, and they have to separate those two. They nowadays, you got to decide in your own mind that you can't do what someone else is telling you to do if it's wrong. And that's what the priests and the clergy and the entire Catholic Church is guilty of in this day and age, is teaching people incorrectly, telling them the wrong things, and then telling them that God loves them. And you might think it all goes together perfectly, neatly in a picture, but no, it does not. You know, the priests that are molesting the altar boys, they should all be beheaded. And the judges that are taking advantage of the situations in the courts, they should follow suit with the rest of them too. They should all be put to death, because this type of behavior in a society such as ours nowadays is just intolerable for any length of time, because everything's so sped up, everything's so happening so quickly that it's just a little bit different than it was 200 years ago here. It's just a little bit different than it was even 10 years ago here. The price of gasoline is never going to be 25 cents a gallon, which I paid for when I was in 6th grade back in 1967. It's never going to be that again. So, you know, we're evolving, we're getting smarter, and
what's happening around us? What's happening around us right now? My friend Walter Burien sent me this. He said the plan was started in 1943. I think it started a long time before that. I think our founding fathers fought the New World Order of their day. The sun never sets on the English Empire. But in 1943, during the war, around the war, and the Second World War was fought to create the United Nations. The first attempt at world government failed because of the League of Nations. Two countries wouldn't go along with the League of Nations, Russia and the United States. So what they did is they murdered the Tsar and started communism in Russia, and here they gave us the Federal Reserve and started communism here. Fifth plank on the Communist Manifesto is a central bank. The plan was to create a unified corporate world government whereby all would prosper, especially those calling the shots. The population and the resources were to be managed under one globalized corporation standard. The countries that were independent from around the globe were to be converted or, in the alternative, eliminated. Over the last 50 years, conversion of the three largest, India, Russia, and China, was accomplished. In the last 10 years, the holdout independents were targeted, starting with those that held the most valuable resources. Afghanistan was taken first as a launching grounds to take Iraq, taking that resulted in the deaths of over 3 million locals, a number of loss of life in perspective that can only be compared to Hitler's takeover of a comparatively sized country. And the people's reaction in the U.S., masterfully entertained into a distraction and mesmerized complicity. Come 2011, the closing game of a 10-year plan goes into full swing. CIA orchestrated collapses of other Mideastern countries to weaken and put into disarray, so that when the final takeover game goes into effect, Iran, with the possible support Iran may receive, will have been neutered. First Tunisia, then Egypt, then Libya. And it's not an easy go there because due to the ruling party, but we've already dropped a few tons of bombs on Libyan soldiers. And are we supporting? Who are we supporting over there? I mean, who's being killed? We don't know. Can you identify? Here's a picture of somebody hit by a smart bomb. Was he the good guy or was he the bad guy? Now, why commit military might when you can trigger a mob mentality in the direction and for the cause you want to accomplish in the first place, take over that country? When the opposition sticks its head up, the word of the day becomes you are helping the liberation forces. Hitler played that one out effectively at the beginning of World War II, but Belgium, Poland, and even France didn't work too well in Russia, though. And there's a definite plan, and the timelines have been played out step by step since September 11th, 2001. Steps that were put with crystal precision on the drawing board well before June of 1997. The end result is one corporate global governance controlling the global population and world resources without any opposition from any independent players of consequence. Reality is based on the end result of the big picture in play. It's been due to the massive wealth involved for conversion, spoon-fed propaganda designed to accomplish conquest and conversion of the resources. The general public may have ethics and a strong will not agreeing to meet the terms of the end game of the controllers, are thus masterfully entertained with the distraction as the end game fulfills its destination unabated, or even, in most part, even without outside comment or cognitive thinking in general for the population of intervention. So what must we all diligently do? We must all focus on the big picture of the end game intended result of our corporate government controllers. You can modify or change something unless you cannot modify or change something unless you can clearly see it in the first place. With that in mind, that is exactly why we're saturated and spoon-fed all the fundamental reality taking place around us. The controllers win by selective presentation and intentional omission, and in their viewpoint, they win by having absolute ownership and control of it all. And folks, that means you and me also. So it's important to stop the car of nationalism we're all driving and see where we are in the first place. Might be a good idea to scrape that roadkill off your bumpers. It's building up a little thick, you know.
Well, I think the spoon feeding is about, I'm about sick and tired of it. There's too many people now that are just woken up and they're spitting that spoon right back out of their mouth at them. So it's just a question of time. See, well, what I figure we're doing here, Clayton, is we're here on the planet and we're doing the best we can with what we've got to work with. But if it all blows up in our face and it all goes down the tubes and this planet becomes nothing but another cinder in space, okay, that's what they wanted here, that's what they got. But you can be sure that our God above, who loves us all truly, he's got a special place for you and me and everyone else who wants to get on board this boat with us. Even if it doesn't sail here in this world, in this creation, in this time and space, we're gonna be taken good care of in a beautiful place that the next world we're going to. And that's where everyone else is going to, if they want to.
Well,
but
you
if
know,
they don't
folks,
want to, they don't have to.
Dave, and by the way, this is my friend here is David Kosh. He's author of Farm Physics. He can tell you how to get healthy. Just spin the water in that cup of coffee, in that pot of coffee that you make, and you'll be feeling a lot better. And, you know, frankly, David, I'm not too worried about the radiation. And you're right there on the coast. It's supposed to be coming on there. It's raining there right now, so maybe that's planned to bring that radiation down and put it on the people. Have you got any reports on any growth of radiation or any detection of radiation in the Los Angeles area?
Yeah. Well, last Friday, it happened Thursday, I believe. Friday, all the kids, my little son, he came home just hacking and coughing all weekend long. And I understand yesterday there's a lot of children out of school from that because this fallout it affects the lungs of the children 6 to 10 years old specifically. But no, I see the rain this last weekend, and it rained all weekend. And I think what it did was I think God just took that radiation right out of the sky and put it back in the ocean for us with the rainstorms. And I'm actually kind of thankful it rained all weekend long with that nuclear fallout coming this direction on the winds and whatnot. But I'm feeling okay today. I didn't suffer any bit from the fallout, but just the children. The children are finding it a little bit hard to breathe this week, but there's a medical solution that we picked up with the doctors, and now he's doing great today, and he's going to school. But I see the forces of nature working with us.
All right. Well, I think God's on our side, and frankly, I'm not worried about radiation or the death threats or anything else. They've tried to kill me 3 times in the last 6 years, and it hadn't worked then, and it ain't going to work now. And I won't quit. I won't quit here, you know. I will blow this whole story about the Southern Sons of Liberty out there. They can make their own decisions. You know, nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells me what to say. And we'll keep doing it. Now, folks, just for your information here, tomorrow we're going to be talking about a new link I've got on my site called Zamzu. This is a shopping service, and you can make a little bit of commission by signing up for this. On Friday, I will have Larry Pratt of Gun Owners of America on my show. On Monday, I will have former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson, and he's going to be talking, this is with AmericanInitiative.com, and he's going to be talking about what's going on in Libya. We got a new war, folks. Well, we couldn't quite build up the what we needed to attack Iran. So we'll go after Libya. There's a good dictator. We've had him set up for 40 years. You know, just about the same length of time that we had Mubarak set up. You know, so the people kicked Mubarak out, and I think the people are going to end up finding out how they've been used, how the true people that care about them, like me, are being targeted. You know, because I'm standing up for people like Donna Taylor, I'm standing up for people like Paul Pantone, you know, that have been incarcerated and put in these mental institutions. Paul Pantone, sanest person I know, the inventor of geek, and it's happening to him too. So we can make a difference, folks. We are making a difference. Mark Taylor is walking out on the 29th. I'll be in Phoenix to meet him at the courtroom when he walks out into the custody of his brother, to his family. We won. We beat him. Despite what this bitch Sue Ash wanted to stop, and we still got support from around the world, and all she did is kill any support the Sons of Liberty riders would ever get from me again. God bless all of you, folks. We're out of time. And so, David, I appreciate you being in here.
Thank you, Clay. I appreciate you inviting me. Have a great day, everyone.
All right.
Call recording has been completed.
Thanks, folks.